it was my dad's sister. She, her name was Katherine too. She always knew when somebody's gonna die. And I asked her, and she would come and she would tell my grandmother that somebody's gonna die. She never knew who, but somebody in the family was gonna die. And it always happened. And I don't know if I don't know if she dreamed it or what, but she actually firmly believed it. And I remember shortly before my sister had already, well, she was already here, applied for my papers when she died. And she told us, and she said that, my grandmother said, "What are you talking about?" And she said, "There is somebody stands in the door in her dream, it was like a dream. She tells her that somebody in the family is going to die. And it always happened that way. So, so I guess finally they got to believe it. At first, my grandmother thought she's nuts, But then when it always happened, then they believed it. And then when my dad was killed, he was in Italy on Mount, and the war was almost over. The Americans had already come into us when my dad was killed on Mount Cassino in Italy. That thing was on TV. That battle when the Germans came in through Italy, and when he died, my grandmother got up one morning and she said to me, "Your dad got killed." And I said, "How do you know?" She said, "Well, he called for me, and he she must have been dreaming it. And I said, "Grandma, you dreamed it, you dreamed it." And it was months before we found out that he actually died that night. Because when the war was over by then, when they came through Italy, they came up through Italy into Munich, and it was all over, but it was months before we found out what happened to him, because a lot of them hadn't come home yet. And that's what happened there. But she said he called her. And I said, "Oh, you must have been dreaming." And she said, "No, I was awake. I was awake." And I said, "Well, no, I thought, well, she was dreaming, but I didn't want to fight with her. But he might have, it's like a mental telepathy thing. He must have been saying, he was her youngest out of 12 children, and he was very close to her. And we lived with her in her house, because when my mother died, my dad moved in. When my grandpa, when her husband died, we moved into my grandma's house because my grandma took care of us before the war. When the war came, well, Louis was already out of the school, but I was 10 and Nuni was 8 when the war started. And we both got put in an orphanage because she was old, and they figured, and Munich was bombed practically day and night. And they tried to put the children away out into the countryside because they didn't bomb the countryside very much, They just were after the cities and the factories and everything. But that